Now we are going to analyze Shelley's short lyrical piece To a Skylark. He is a prominent romantic poet. He is one of the greatest lyrical poets of the 19th century. From his lyrics we can understand that he has the gift of melody and profusion of imagery. Shelley's poems are known for its simplicity, spontaneity and pictorial quality. Because of his musical quality and imagery, his poems stand unique. Even Swinburne called the perfect singing god. In all his poems we can find a note of sadness, and they deal with the regeneration of mankind. Now let us see about the poem To a Skylark. To a Skylark is an ode addressing the bird skylark. This poem was written in the year 1820 when he was staying in Italy. While he was walking, he hears the music of skylark and he was fascinated by its music, and so he wrote this poem To a Skylark. In this poem he gives the contrasting picture of the bird's divinity and man's sorrowful condition. When the poem begins, we find the skylark bird singing happily and flying upward in the sky. The poet notices the bird's music and he says that it seems to be a spirit from heaven because it pours out its plenty emotions through musical notes. And he says that the bird's song comes spontaneously without any pre-planning, without any premeditation, it comes spontaneously. He gives a number of metaphors to describe the bird and describe its divinity. Now the detailed summary of the poem we are going to see. The poem begins with the skylark bird flying high in the sky. It is flying higher and higher like a cloud of fire in the blue sky, singing while flying. And in the background we find the sun setting and the golden lightning spreads throughout the clouds. The bird flying in the sky appears to be like a golden light. It appears to be the clouds are illuminated by its golden light. The bird looks like a beginning of a new race. The poet notices that there is one pale purple makes way for the bird in the sky and it covers the bird while flying. In the broad daylight, the stars are not visible. Similarly, this star of heaven is also not visible. But the poet could hear its delightful song. The poet could not see the skylark, but could hear its shrill cry. This cry is piercing like moonbeams. Even the bright morning sky is dimmed by its piercing cry. The entire sky and the entire earth are filled with its music. It reminds the poet of the moon in a clear night. Just like the moon filling its light in the dark night, skylark's music fills the entire earth and the entire sky. Skylark is showering down its rain of melody. Even the colorful rainbow cloud droplets will look pale when it is compared with skylark's shower of music. And another imagery, a poet is hiding and writing verse and removing fear from the people, and he is giving hope to the people. Just like this hidden poet, skylark bird is also giving hope to the entire mankind by hiding itself. Another imagery, just imagine a lonely aristocratic woman in the lonely tower singing a song to comfort herself so that she can remove her own sorrow. Just like this lonely aristocratic maiden singing a song to comfort her soul, skylark bird is also gives happiness to the entire mankind. Next metaphor. Think of one glowworm. This glowworm is scattering its light among the flowers and grass. Just like this glowworm, skylark music also fills its place with delight. Next metaphor. Rose metaphor. Rose is spreading its sweet scent and it intoxicates the bees when the air sweeps the petals from the flower. Just like that rose spreading its sweet scent, skylark bird is also spreading its music and intoxicates the listeners. And then the poet says there are so many pleasant sounds in this world, like a shower on twinkling grass, moment of rain awakening the flowers. But these joyous things can't equal skylark's music. And then the poet wonders, whether it is a fairy or a bird, because it is spreading sweet thoughts. And then he says that he wants that bird to educate human beings with its delightful thoughts. Because Skylark's music is so divine and no human beings have heard such heavenly music. And then Shelley thinks of happiest occasions in man's life, marriage and victory celebrations. But in these two celebrations also, people sing songs, but these songs are mere songs of boastfulness. There is something lacking in those songs. But Skylark's music is complete and it is divine. And then the poet thinks of the source of inspiration for that Skylark. And he asks, what may be the source of inspiration for that Skylark to sing such a divine song? Did the objects like fountains, fields, waves, mountains or sky inspire that Skylark to sing such lovely divine song? Or the Skylark's love? Or that Skylark might not have experienced any pain in its life. Because of that ignorance of pain, that Skylark might have sung such a melodious, divine song. And then the poet says, you might not have experienced any sadness or annoyance in your love life at all, because you are singing joy songs. He addresses Skylark again and he says that think deeply of death. Think more deeply of death than human beings do. As Skylark might not have experienced such pain, he wants that bird also to think of such pain and sing some songs. Again he asks, how that Skylark can sing such beauty and with clarity. I told you already, Shelley often writes of pain, sadness in his poems. In this poem also he is talking of pain the human beings are experiencing. He says that humans are always thinking of their past, future and they become unhappy. Even their genuine laughter contains pain. Even the sweetest songs of the human beings contain saddest thoughts. So human beings and misery become inseparable. And then he says, even if humans are devoid of hatred, pride, fear and tear, he doubts whether human beings can create such a sweet song like Skylark. And then Shelley talks of two precious things, two delightful things. One is rhythmical delightful sound. Another one is precious information found in a book. But Skylark music is greater than these two. Skylark's music is greater than rhythmical delightful sound and the precious information found in a book. Finally, the poet is making a request to Skylark. He is requesting the Skylark to give half of its gladness to him so that he also can sing divinely like Skylark. And the human beings would listen and enjoy just like he enjoyed Skylark's music. So, in this poem we have seen how Shelley glorifies natural world. He understands that there is divinity, majesty, beauty and splendor in Skylark's music. He glorifies that, and from this poem we can understand it. He has employed many similes to highlight Skylark's uniqueness.